I love dogs, but not this dog. This dog is on my naughty list. He will remain there. This dog screwed the pooch. He's a bad dog. There's actually some pretty serious things going on in town. A lady who lives around the corner named Elizabeth Capaldi, or Beth Capaldi, has gone missing for 4 weeks. That's a month. That's a long time to be missing, so something is not right. If you see her, please contact Perkasie Police. I will put their number up here somewhere. That would be awesome. You see, I find out about her being missing for the first time 2 weeks ago when this dog, he's a bloodhound, this dog led police to my studio front door while I was with a client. Can you say awkward? Yeah, it was pretty wild. Fortunately, we have security cameras. I can show you a little bit of how it all went down and explain what I think happened, because I'm not a kidnapper. First, let me say I don't have any complaints about how the police handled this. They were just doing their jobs. The dog's handlers, on the other hand, they could have been a little bit more professional about this, in my opinion. So just to give you some context here, I was finishing up with a client. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a couple Tuesdays ago, and I catch movement out of the corner of my eye on the porch. I'm like, because I wasn't expecting anybody. I go open the door, and there's this dog that I don't recognize, and people I don't recognize. Sometimes family members come along with my students and bring their dogs, and they walk their dogs, so I get to meet all kinds of dogs. I love it. You know, the first reaction for me is like, ooh, I want to pet the dog. I want to get those doggy kisses, right? They didn't introduce themselves to me or tell me what they were doing on the porch. And I thought I would break the ice. And I said, oh, can I pet your dog? And they snapped back like, no, he's working. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. And they didn't offer any more information. So I said, well, if I can help you with anything, let me know. And I go to shut the door. And the lady says, well, can the dog come in? And I'm just like, my mild confusion turns into like full bewilderment, because I just asked this lady if I could pet her dog. And she said no, quite forcefully. And now she's inviting her dog into my house. And at this point, they had a water dish out for the dog. And like, he was drooling. So there was actually like puddles of like either water or drool on the porch. So I didn't know what was going on. And I said, not right now. Because like I had my student was about to walk out the door. So in my mind, I'm thinking, this dog's just taking a break. They're taking a break on my porch. And so I said, if you need to, my yard is available. It's fenced in. You can put the dog in the yard if he needs to take a break. And she snaps back again. No, he's working. Like, I was like, okay. And they offer no information. If I was on somebody's porch, especially with an animal, I would like introduce myself, say what I'm doing there. Oh, it was crazy. So here's the short bit of video where you can see the dog hitting on my door. This is the lady who kept like snapping back at me when I offered to like pet the dog or let the dog in the yard or try to help whatever was going on. And she's the one. She should have been nicer. But then the one guy who is on the walkie-talkie in my yard or the neighbor's yard asked me what street this is, and I tell him, and I don't know why he's asking, but apparently he's calling the police to come to this location, right? Which I would have still given him the street name, but whatever. The police show up, and they are more professional about it. They explain what's going on. The police officer asked me to list all of the Elizabeths that I know, and I don't know the right one. So he shows me her picture, actually texted it to me, which is good, so I could text it to my wife, explain that she's missing. And so I spent a while talking to them. They knocked on my camper doors, and I said, I have the keys to the camper. That's my camper. Can I let you in so you can look around? I mean, if this lady's living in my camper, I don't want her to live in my camper. And then with the dog handler, I said, listen, now that I understand why you're here, do you want to bring the dog inside so it can sniff around just to make sure she wasn't in my house? And they said no. So I feel like if they took it seriously that the dog landed at my house, they would have wanted to see in my camper or have the dog sniff around. The one police officer says, well, maybe she just took a break. And you know what? I think that's a likely scenario. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I'll let them do their job. About halfway through this, they said, okay, let's send the dog again. I guess so I could see it or something. So just showing you here on Google Maps, the dog went up my neighbor's driveway, back around the back of my house, and then down to the front of my house on the other side, but not walking down the driveway. It like went in circles in my neighbor's yard on the other side of the driveway and then came up to my front door. And immediately I'm thinking, okay, I think I know what's going on here. See, we have a dog named Piper, and she's a good girl. I love her. She's never been on my naughty list. At least half of the time, when we take Piper for a walk, we cross the bridge, go out back to the graveyard, right? And there's a big loop that goes around the graveyard, and that loop ends at this lady's road, at Beth Capaldi's road. It's High Street. Now, if I if I was a betting man, considering that it was 2 weeks since this lady went missing, actually 2.5 weeks that this dog sniffed her scent. In between then, there was torrential downpours several different days. So, I don't want to disparage this dog or anything, but if I had my guess, if the dog was following Beth's scent from her house to our house, my dog's scent would have been there the entire time. So either the dog got the 2 scents mixed up, or it just got hot for my dog because, like, ooh, girl dog, and followed the dog into our driveway. Because when I come home for a walk, I go up my neighbor's driveway, I drop the poop off at the trash can out by the garage, and then we walk down the other side of the house, and the dog farts around in the grass on the other side of the driveway, probably pees there a couple times, and then Piper comes up to the front door. If Beth was walking around my house and coming back down to the front, she would have used the driveway. A human doesn't go in the grass and like walk in circles like a dog and then come to my front door. That's just not how it would have happened. So that's what I think happened. That's why this dog is on my naughty list and he will stay there. I hope that he doesn't get treats for Christmas. All kidding aside though, if you have any information about the whereabouts of Beth Capaldi, please call Perkasie Police at this number. And I hope they find her.